So recently why we are discussing about this is there has been a midterm appraisal of this DLI scheme. DLI is nothing but design linked initiative for the semiconductor industry, your chips manufacturing and all that stuff. So because it has been recently in news, about three or four important points are there. If there is a question which is going to pop up on it, I think they will not go beyond this. So keep it in mind. So semiconductor design linked, sorry, DLI, design linked initiative with respect to semiconductors. Uh, there has been a reassessment to fortify the hands of India's semiconductor industry. So what are the goals of this Semicon India program? First most important thing is imports. All our semiconductor industry is based on imports from China. So rather than depending too much on India, on China, it is better if we are able to make our own semiconductor devices. So if that has to happen, how can it happen? That we'll see. Now because of these imports, what happens is it is a risk because we use these semiconductor devices in sectors like defense as well as artificial intelligence. It's a risk. So the best way to solve this problem is we are able to manufacture our own semiconductor things rather than importing and then use it for defense as well as artificial intelligence. That is the whole idea. Next, you should be able to build your own supply chain resilience. So what happens is you can do it like this. What you can do is you can arrange a big mela or a fair where you attract all the global talent, especially in this field, and then let them come out with new ideas, and then let them only train our fellows and youth to get into this industry and slowly develop the manufacturing side of the semiconductor industry. That should be the target. So for enhanced supply chain resilience. Next, leverage comparative advantage by how? Hosting design houses of major global semiconductor players. So what you do is you bring all the globes, arrange a nice uh, mela kind of thing where all of them will show their global talents with respect to semiconductor industry, and from that we learn and we make it much better. So in this slide, Semicon India program, reduce imports of China, supply chain resilience must be there, and leverage comparative advantage through global hosting of design houses. What are the challenges we have? The major challenge has always been funding. Therefore, we have limited resources and industrial policy priorities. Semiconductor industry has not been given enough priority because our industrial policy makers are always based on other industrial factors which are already at highs. So the amount of funding or the amount of policy making is not enough for semiconductor industry to grow. So this makes it less capital incentive designs must be created. So this is another point that you can write in your mains. First is industrial polity priorities and maximum benefit for less capital intensive design structures. And semiconductors R&D long-term payoff, that is a problem. Why funding is not being done is for semiconductor, for the innovations which have to happen in semiconductor industry, it is going to take a long time. So till that innovations happen and they're successful, even if you take a loan, the interest amounts that you have to pay for them accrues like crazy. So therefore, it is like a huge investment with no guarantees. Therefore, there is a problem with this field. Next is lack of scrutiny. Policymakers, no, policy itself is not there, so I don't think there will be a big scrutiny also. Next, beneficiary startups face barriers. First, domestic status and very low foreign direct investments for accessing capital. So FDIs also don't flow into this industry, especially in the Indian sector, and because of which we have to upgrade ourselves so that at least FDIs also flow to set up industries over here. Next, broader design objectives and financial support should be there. India designed chips must be the way forward. And role of Center for Development of Advanced Computing as a nodal agency, this is what is being considered. And there is a conflict with respect to market players and chip design sector. So that conflict must also be resolved. Best example is, it's not new for us. Karnataka model, where they have established an accelerator lab and the Karnataka government is supporting them with a blueprint and an implementing agency. So if you know all these points, I think that is more than sufficient. Thank you.